Welcome into the Hong Kong Fusion Podcast with your hosts, Dave, Jack, and Tyler.
It's
What's up, everybody?
another Wednesday night of the Hong Kong Fusion Podcast, November 1st. Happy holiday season, officially. It's also chocolate milk season for Jack. Apparently,
Cheers.
took the Phillies loss so bad that he's now a Milwaukee Brewers fan. Love to hear the story about how you acquired that cup glass.
So, yes, in 2019, I went to Wisconsin for training for work in Madison. And then weekend training was like Tuesday to Friday. That weekend, I took a bus to Milwaukee and did some things in Milwaukee for the weekend, including tour American Family Field or Miller Park or whatever it's called, the Brewer Stadium. And
Spoken like a true fan.
I'm certainly not going to have the knowledge to tell you you're incorrect.
No, that's our first Google of the end of the episode.
Good call. Remember that for later.
And I like to, when I get souvenirs, I like to get like usable items, and a beer glass is a usable item. And I have no reason to like hate the Brewers. I don't know. I got sauce, they're sausage people. I got koozies. They're koozies too.
Didn't know they were sausage people.
You never seen a sausage race?
I thought they did that in multiple stadiums. Is that just in Milwaukee?
The sausages are Milwaukee. They do like the presidents in Washington.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Today I learned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite corn dog, but sausage. So keeping the trend of encased beef in the
Now that we've checked that box, anything else to report? Any other food recommendations from far off lands?
I think that's it for me.
No.
All right. Sounds good. Let's move into some standings review. We're a little more than halfway through. We've got, I believe, 6 regular season weeks left. Jack, you're in first, tied with technically Tyler and other Tyler at 10-6. Jack, you've got the most points, so you're technically in first. So 3 at 10-6. We've got Pete and CJ at 9-7. We've got Nicholas at 8-8 in 6th place. Ed and myself, 7-9, 7th and 8th place. And Todd and Kyle bringing up the rear. Kyle with a 2-loss lead on the Sacco race currently.
Man, be trouble.
Kyle
I
famous
am
for my background. That could be a problem. Kyle famous for pretty much winning the championship every year, it seems.
Well, he gloats like he does. So I'm really rooting for him to get Sacco.
It would be a pretty different finish for him than what he's used to. That's for sure.
I want to point out that he would always make that trade in week 8 of the season that like put him over the top. I think he went the wrong way with that this year.
Certainly did.
Well, after
I
1
certainly
week of that
felt the
trade,
wrath.
yes, you did. After 1 week of that trade, I definitely feel good about it. Of course, it could certainly turn around as trades can do, but very happy with Jalen Hurts now on my team, specifically to stack with A.J. Brown, who went bonkers again last week. And turns out when Austin Eckler has full use of both of his ankles, he's good at
At
football.
the game.
On the other side of that
At the game.
trade, I'll just remind that Cooper Kupp had, I think, 3 catches and 6 points, and now doesn't have Matt Stafford, or at least a Matt Stafford with a working right thumb, which I've never played quarterback, but it seems like your throwing thumb would be pretty vital.
Extremely important.
Arguably your
for-
most important appendage.
Most important digit for sure, if we were to rank those. But yeah, I mean, standings as it is, I definitely don't like that I'm in 8th, but I do feel like I'm trending in the right direction. So if y'all had to call, let's say top 4 or championship game right now, where do you lean?
Calling the championship matchup.
See,
Okay. Man,
it's tough.
it's really tough.
Our team is like complete, in my opinion.
Yours?
No, you said no
I
team.
mean,
Oh, no team. No, I
no,
agree.
yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Like I struggle a little bit at the circumstance. And Addison just lost Cousins, so
Yeah.
You do at least have Gibbs coming on as a viable running back, but David Montgomery's coming back, and who knows what Tony Pollard is at this point.
real.
Bad.
Could be that easy.
Yeah.
My take is I think Ed is gonna find his way into top 4 for sure.
Yeah, I mean his team is too good to not be there.
Yeah. I mean he'll get Montgomery back and then he can not play one of Drake London or Garrett Wilson. And that's like
Yeah. Puka
pretty
might be
good.
hurting him too.
Yeah, no, it's
Puka,
Stafford's out.
Puka could be deleted from
I
relevance.
don't think he gets the championship though. I think Dave has a good chance. If you can keep winning, your team is
That's how it works.
yeah.
I've definitely got one of the better 8th place teams that we've seen in recent years. That's, I think, for sure. If I could figure out how to start the correct running backs, I would be scary. So we'll see if I can
Start
figure
with
that out.
not Aaron Jones.
Oh, yeah, he's benched until further notice for sure.
Yeah. I think
will
it's
not-
no Packers.
I will not tilt start Aaron Jones this week.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I think I'll be in the championship.
There's that
Yeah.
confidence.
I'm gonna say me versus Ed.
I think it's gonna be me versus Dave.
Ooh, would be a comeback of
Podcast battle.
the century. I was going to say the two of
So
you just because you're both up there and you both have good teams.
so now we know it'll be Pete versus TY.
There you go.
Is Kyle mathematically eliminated for making like could if he
No,
wins out?
certainly not. Certainly not
Okay.
mathematically eliminated. No, I mean with 5 weeks, I mean you could get 10 wins, 14 and 12. It's possible if the top half, gets on a little bit of a losing streak.
Is it 5 weeks or 6 weeks?
9. It is 6 weeks. Excuse me. So there's 12 more wins total
be
left to
had.
grab. Yeah, 6 for matchups and 6 for the median.
Yeah. I think in this case median is hurting him.
Well, he's going to
Because-
continue to be hurt by the median because his team is not good.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like he could get
Mhm.
even if he had complete luck with matchups, his starting roster is kind of dog shit.
Well,
I mean,
maybe
Ramondre
DeAndre
is
Hopkins.
as good as useless. He's starting Kyle Pitts, and Mike Evans.
I mean, Mike
Which-
Evans has been
It's this weekend.
Yeah, but
good.
I don't know.
Pitts is a problem
Well, maybe he
Um,
won't be.
until he's not.
Yeah. Anyway,
Taylor Heineke, well, with Heineke.
We shall see. Might be a little trivia tease there. Taylor Heineke action. Heineken. Taylor H, as they say. But we'll see how the matchups play out, and we will be on to trivia. Our first YouTube exclusive trivia here coming up. If you're listening to the podcast, you're only going to get one. If you're watching on the YouTube, you've got both. And now for Jack's favorite drop.
Fantasy football trivia.
All right, so we are gonna kick things off with a new podcast debut, at least. This is not a debut of this game within this group because we are degenerates that do trivia for each other over a group chat. Shout out to Sleepers DMs groupings, by the way. Super convenient. This game is called Connections. I will quickly explain the rules here as the guys start to look at this. So there is a grid of 16 players. There are 4 groups of 4 players. So 4 groups have all done something particular in this past week of football. So what Jack and Tyler will need to do is figure out which of those 4 players belong in a group. General rules would be there's not going to be any overlap, so it wouldn't be a situation where you get 2 groups and then that just happens to leave 4 quarterbacks now that you've eliminated some quarterbacks, or leaves 4 guys that could have been associated with other players that are already in another group, but now they're not available to be grouped together. It will also not be as easy as those 4 are quarterbacks, but 4 groups, they've all got something in common that no other player on this board did. This is fantasy and NFL related, and it is all relevant to what happened in last week's events. So, gentlemen, feel free to start discussing strategy here, and I'll be here to maybe give a hint or 2 along the way.
well, Jack, something immediately pops into my head when I'm looking at this. And
Right. What do you got?
so I see Tyrod and Kirk Cousins. And I believe they both got injured and had to leave a game. So I think this might be injury related. I don't know if it means like left the game or if it just means like got injured, but
So those 2, Walt and Waller,
Darren Waller got hurt. And did Ken Walker also get hurt?
or did Drake London?
I don't know anything about the Falcons because I don't pay attention to them. I don't think, I mean, maybe, but I think I remember
Because now
Ken
he's
Walker.
questionable now.
Oh, okay. I thought I remember Ken Walker getting banged up. Waller did. He barely played, I think.
Like the team in receiving yards, but barely played
They also
with
threw.
4.
They also, yeah.
That is a fact. That is a thing that happened.
We can eliminate. Purdy didn't get injured other than his ego.
Mhm.
CD did not get injured.
So I saw something else too.
Okay. Okay.
Did Javonte Williams catch a touchdown? Because Eckler did, Reese Hall did, and ETN did. So there's 3 running backs all caught a
It could have been
touchdown.
it could have been running backs with a receiving touchdown.
That's what
Certainly
I'm thinking.
possible. Certainly possible.
I will give you
And
guys
Javon-
3 wrong guesses before I reveal answers. So you've got 3 strikes as a group here.
Okay.
So do we want to do the injury guess first or this
Well, so
receiving running
I feel
backs?
very confident about injury guess because what else did Kirk do? So it's just a matter of picking that
What
fourth
else did
guy.
What else did
Oh
Tyrod
yeah,
Taylor
yeah,
do?
okay, yeah. More specifically, what else did Tyrod do?
I have no idea.
Unless it was throw a pick, but
There's
never
only
mind. There's only three
three.
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Unless Taysom
No,
did, which would have been rough.
he didn't.
No, I think it's injury. So Kirk, Tyrod for sure. Waller.
I will
And
say
that's
you're on the right track, and you have
in.
mentioned the fourth player inside of that conversation already.
So it's either Drake London or Ken Walker.
I
I feel
don't
like
know. I
me
just know
neither.
London's questionable this week.
I'll let you make the call.
Let's go with London.
So locking in Cousins, Waller, London, and Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
As a group.
Left early with injury.
Exited with an injury. That is group
Look at
1.
that.
Good work.
Okay.
So I'm also seeing McBride there, and I know either he caught 10 passes or had more than 10. Yeah, I know he had more than 10
Yeah,
targets. I
right,
think he
more
had
than 10
10.
targets.
I think he caught 10 balls though.
Did somebody else?
Well, I mean
Well, CeeDee Lamb.
Eckler.
Eckler
Maybe he
had 10
didn't.
catches.
No, but I think he may have had 10 targets.
You know who else? Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson. I think that's a target or a reception thing, but either way, we can eliminate Metcalf. So I think that might be I think that's a category. Eckler,
Like you're
McBride,
saying,
CD,
Metcalf
Deontay.
didn't do it.
No, he definitely did not have 10
Right.
targets, that's for sure.
All right, so here's the other thing.
Okay.
2 touchdowns. Taysom
Well,
Hill
Eckler.
did CD
Yes,
and,
CD did.
and Eckler. And did
Mm,
Javonte Williams have 2
I
touchdowns?
don't think he had two. I think he just had one, but ETN may have.
No, he only had 1.
Oh, what about Brees?
Only 1.
JT?
I don't think so.
See, I don't think McBride scored. So this is a target or a reception thing, I think, for him anyway. ETN may have had a lot of targets.
He may have. But when he had that long touchdown catch.
I'm resisting the urge to look up stats so bad.
Yeah, don't
Like,
be cheating out there.
like not that, they wouldn't reveal anything, but it's just like I want to confirm things that we're discussing. McBride was a
Only,
point of emphasis this week in as far as
yeah.
like because of he did something that I don't think
The weirdest name on this list right now is Brock Purdy. Like, I have no
it
idea where
is.
he's going to fit in.
Maybe turnovers. It's people fumble.
Oh God, I have no idea. We could tackle.
In
What
the
did
interest of
Purdy do?
in the interest of time, I will confirm that Trey McBride is part of a group based on number of targets.
Yeah, okay. So let's
McBride,
go
Johnson,
McBride.
Lamb.
Was it Metcalf? Am I just is that just me misremembering? I
Well, you
mean I
said
watched
Eckler had a bunch.
Eckler had a ton, I thought. I just don't know if he had 10. Like I know McBride had 10 targets, which is I don't think a
I
tight
know,
end in Arizona has had 10 targets like in a long time. Maybe ever.
and I know I know Deontay Johnson had 8 catches and
Yeah.
was missed on a wide open end
CD
zone target.
was dominant.
Brees Hall had like 5 catches, but I don't think he had 10 targets.
So it's I don't think Eckler had 10 targets.
Maybe it was DK.
Because it has to be because I imagine that like if he had 10 targets, he's not dropping like a lot of them. He would have had like
Right.
close to 10 receptions, which we would have heard about. That's the only reason I bring that up is we would have heard about that. He would have been like the RB1. All right, let's go Metcalf, CD, Deontay, McBride for targets. You good with that?
10 targets.
Yeah.
Metcalf, CD Lamb, Deontay, Trey McBride are a group. 14 targets for each player.
Jesus.
God.
Did McBride have 10 catches?
That sounds correct. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
DK Metcalf had 5 catches on 14 targets.
So that's why I remember I didn't think he did. I know he had a rough day.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Oh man.
2 for 2. We've got 2 categories left.
Yeah.
And I will say you've discussed one of them.
Yeah, so two TDs. Well, we know Eckler
It's not
scored
2
2.
TDs.
Oh, it's not?
Didn't Lamb score 2? I think it's the running back to catch a touchdown.
Oh, right. Does Taysom count as that?
His are rushing.
Oh. Okay. Well, Purdy may have ran one in. But I don't think he would have done 2 categories for rushing and then receiving touchdowns. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I think it's Eckler, Hall, ETN, and Javante. Caught a touchdown.
Okay. I don't have
Running backs that caught a touchdown.
Eckler, Hall, JT.
No, ETN and Javante.
Excuse me. ETN, Javante. That is a third group. And that reasoning is spot on. Those are running backs with a receiving touchdown.
Okay, so now it's Taysom.
You've got the last
Walker,
group.
Purdy, Taylor. Yeah, let's try and think about what it is, though.
You guys have cleared the board here. Taylor, Purdy, Walker, Taysom Hill in that fourth group. Give you a couple minutes here, come up with the reasoning, but 4 for 4. It's good work by you two.
What did Purdy do?
What did any of these guys do?
I know. Well,
this was by far the hardest category to just kind of know. I assumed that if you were to clear this board that this was just going to be because these 4 guys were left over.
Okay.
It has something to do with rushing. And it's not, to your point, it's not just receiving touchdown. Or excuse me, rushing touchdown.
It might be. Well, what did. Okay, so when I see JT and Ken Walker, I'm like, oh, maybe it's a length of a run. And Purdy could even sneak in there if it's like a, but I don't think Taysom breaks. It could be. It could be like
Do you think
20,
it's?
It could be like 20-yard plus run or something.
Do you think it's like 7 yards per carry?
Or it could be
literally exactly what it is. It's averaged more than 7 yards per carry.
There you go.
Fourth group. I don't know how you pulled that. I don't know if you're looking stuff up over there or what.
I'm really not. I just know that Taysom Hill had like 7 for 65 or something.
Yeah. So they all had greater than 7 yards per carry. I think Purdy was like 2 for 14. He was like 7 exactly. I think Taylor and Kenneth Walker were like over 10, and then Taysom, yeah, it was like 9. But all the other running backs on here were like super inefficient on the ground. Brees Hall had like 17 carries for like 29 yards. Eckler like did the same thing, but obviously he had all the receptions. So well done. That was connections. That was
Nailed it.
You guys nailed it for
That was
sure.
probably the best one we've ever done, and we've done a lot
Yeah.
of these.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult to make it for like the past week. You know,
Yeah.
like some performances are like super memorable, you know, especially the good ones. So, but well done. And now we are on to Jeopardy. Felt like
Yes. So welcome back, people who are just listening, because you missed a previous trivia that we nailed. So you should go watch it.
correct.
Yes. YouTube.com/HKF pod, maybe. Might get you there.
Sounds like it could be true. So I needed a redemption on creating a Jeopardy board that has gettable questions, and you guys needed a redemption on not being in the negatives. So feedback taken. Last week's Jeopardy was too hard. We're back for more. We've got
I do want to real quick
Oh yes,
before
go
you
ahead.
go into this. There's just a content warning. There may be some foul language coming up ahead.
There you go. Spoiler alert. So categories are wide receivers that boom or bust. These are basically all going to be guys who have 0 average performances on the year, but only great or bad ones. We've got Bob Does Football. Little shout out to Bob Does Sports. All the answers to that one are going to be guys with Bob or Robert somewhere in their name. Welcome to Thunderdome. This is going to be quarterbacks that are about to see their first action in their careers or their seasons that probably are not going to have too much fun on Sunday. And where the fuck did that come from? Just kind of some unexpected performances from week 8. And then we'll be on to Final Jeopardy, which is rank 'em. Tyler, I believe I gave Jack the first category last week, so we'll start with you.
Let's do Bob Does Football for 100, please.
All right. This current Texan wide receiver has also played for the Bills, Rams, and Titans. Tyler.
Who is Robert Woods.
That is correct. Bobby Trees, as they say.
Let's just keep going. Bob Does Football for 200, please.
All right. This stud linebacker plays for the Seahawks and is generally one of the league's leading tacklers. I believe we've got Jack in there first.
It's Bobby Wagner.
Are you blind?
Am I blind?
I mean, I'm not the host, but go ahead.
Oh, guess Tyler was in there first. But yes, Jack's got it with Bobby Wagner. Sorry, Ty.
For the record, and YouTube will vindicate this, I was a good 5 seconds early.
Whoops. Go ahead, Jack. Tyler, you can come back.
Bob Does Football for 300.
All right. This current Bear has an 11 touchdown season with a division rival on his resume. We've recently discussed him in the group chat. Jack.
Who is Robert Tunyon?
Attaboy. Jack with 500, 200 of those points up for dispute. Tyler with 100.
It's not even up for dispute. It's just disputed.
Official protest in play. Jack, where are we going next?
Bob Does Football for 400.
All right. This head coach is currently fighting for a playoff spot in the AFC with a backup quarterback. Jack?
Who is Bob Saleh?
Robert Saleh is correct. Jets head coach.
Bob
And
Does
finish off
Football.
Bob Does Football. All right. This clown wide receiver in the NFC West caught a touchdown in week 6 and rushed for a touchdown in week 7. Jack?
Be Jake Bobo.
It is Jake Bobo. Correct.
Wait, what?
Bobo for his last name.
Oh my God, that's so dumb.
Well, if you put in Bob and Robert on Sleeper, there's only 3 current players that would make sense to make a question about and only 1 head coach. So had to kind of give you a little clown as the play on words there.
Do wide receivers at boom or bust for 100.
All right. This Saint has 3 top 12 weekly finishes. His 4th best performance is the wide receiver 52, Tyler.
Who is Rashid Shaheed?
That's correct. It is Rashid Shaheed. Very nice. Back in control.
Until you take it away from me.
Yep.
Let's just keep going. 200.
All right. This Cardinal finished as a wide receiver 6 in week 4. His best performance otherwise is the wide receiver 42, Tyler. Definitely in there first for sure.
Man, I hope I don't get his name wrong. Who is Michael Wilson?
Michael Wilson is a correct answer.
I did
Very
not know if
nice.
his first name was Michael.
Cardinals rookie.
300.
This Chief finished as the wide receiver 13 in week 7. His next best performance was all the way back in week 1. He wide receiver 56, Ty.
Oh man. Who was Rashi Rice?
It is not Rashi Rice.
Fuck me. Fuck.
Wide receiver 13.
Jack.
Who is Marquez Valdez-Scantling?
Nailed it. What a bum. Where are we going, Jack?
400.
All right, this Dolphin finished as the wide receiver 13 in week 4. He was the wide receiver 55 in week 1 and has not finished above wide receiver 74 otherwise.
Oh, fuck. This is wrong.
I'll give you a hint. It is not Tyreek Hill.
I know that. It's also not Waddle. Oh man, who's their 3rd receiver? I don't know.
All right, that's an L for Tyler. We're in the negatives. Jack, you want to take a shot at this? Go for it.
Richard Crarcraft?
It is not River Craycraft. You guys will both take an L there. This is Braxton Berrios, former Jet. Tyler, I believe you're still. Oh no, Jack, this is on you. I guess we're continuing.
100. Yep.
All right. This Titan was the wide receiver 17 in week 4 and has not finished inside the top 40 in any other week. Ty, what do you got?
Who is Treylon Burks?
That is also a wrong answer.
God,
Fortunately.
damn it. I'm done.
Jack.
Nick Westbrook-Ikini?
It is Nick Westbrook-Ikine. Yes.
Mm.
All right. Score check-in. Jack's at 1,800 and Tyler's at negative 800.
That should be 1,600 to negative 600.
You know what? We'll allow that. That's fine. I can't. I'll do it in the next one. Jack, where are we going?
Into the Thunderdome.
Welcome
For
to
100.
Thunderdome. This quarterback is set to make his first NFL start after throwing 4 touchdowns in relief of Malik Willis last week. Tyler.
It was Will Levis.
It is Will Levis indeed.
Let's do. Where the fuck did that come from for 500?
Okay. This tight end finishes the top tight end in week 8 with 25 fantasy points, which was the best fantasy performance of his career. I'll give you 3 seconds. I will. Oh, Jack.
I don't think this is right, but Taysom Hill?
It's not Taysom Hill, no. Taysom Hill definitely has a 40-point game somewhere. I was going to add a hint to the question, but now that Jack's lost points, I'm not going to do that. Ty, you want to take a shot?
Absolutely not.
If I said best performance of his 2-year career, would that have? I mean, you're not getting points for it, but you can guess.
Yeah, it was Trey McBride.
It is Trey McBride. Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, yeah.
that threw me off because the way you phrased it didn't make me think it was someone who's only played for 1.5 seasons.
Well, it was a
Yeah.
500-point question, so I had to make it a
Let's do
little bit
400.
difficult. All right. This wide receiver put up 41 fantasy points in week 8. His previous best this season was 25.3. This player was the wide receiver 1 on the week. Ty?
Who is DeAndre Hopkins?
It is not.
Yeah.
Oh my
What?
God.
DeAndre Hopkins.
How do you score 3 touchdowns and not the wide receiver 1?
I honestly think he was like 4 for 60 with 3 touchdowns. He did not have yards or catches. Jack, you taking a shot at this?
No.
That would be
Oh.
CD Lamb.
That's how.
All these guys are on the board.
Yeah, they had good performances. Where the fuck did that come from? Ty, you
Let's go
wanna?
back to. Oh wait, no,
It's
I
still,
didn't get it.
yeah, still
Let's welcome to
Tyler.
the Thunderdome for 500.
All right. If Matthew Stafford is unable to go on Sunday, this journeyman quarterback would be making his first start of the season.
God, I have no idea.
Jack shaking his head no as well. This is Brett Rippin.
All right.
Good name.
Be
Rippin.
Bronco, great.
ripping some interceptions all over the field.
He slings it. Let's do 400.
Despite trading for Josh Dobbs on Tuesday, the Vikings will likely be giving this quarterback the starting nod for week 9. Jack.
Jaron Hall.
It is Jaron Hall. Very nice. Good pull.
Now I can just not play anymore, which is good.
You can get back into the positives. Jack,
I
where are
don't
we going?
care enough. I
Jack,
don't have
go
a
ahead
chance to
and-
win.
Welcome to the
He's not.
Thunder-
He's
run
not
the
going
table.
to
300.
wager anything significant.
Arthur Smith, who just a week after saying anyone who thinks Desmond Ridder is playing bad is just part of toxic groupthink, will now be benching Desmond Ridder in favor of this QB.
Just try and rack up points, Jack.
Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. Taylor Heineke.
Taylor Heineke's correct.
You don't
Did
have to
finish
raise your
off the
hand.
Thunderdome here.
I'm not clicking anything.
With Kyler Murray sitting at least one more week, this rookie QB will make his first career NFL start.
Tune.
Clayton Tune. All right, where do you want to go?
100.
This running back was the only player at his position to rush for more than 1 touchdown in week 8. This maybe should not have been a 100-point question. This person is, oh, Tyler's back.
Who is Gus Edwards?
It is Gus
Oh, yeah.
Edwards. Very nice.
Oh, look at
200
that.
question. This QB led the league in passing yards with 397 and touchdowns with 4 in week 8. Tyler.
It was Sam Howell.
It is Sam Howell. Very nice. I accidentally clicked it twice, so now you can get closer to positives. Last question. This receiver was the only player at his position to catch 3 touchdowns in week 8. Tyler.
Who is DeAndre Hopkins?
It is DeAndre Hopkins.
Hey,
There
I'm
we
at
go.
0. No, I'm at negative 100.
Well, you can be at 500. Who cares? Points are made up.
So why don't we just not do this?
All right. Final Jeopardy, everyone.
Oh man,
We're
It's a
ranking.
blowout.
I still claim I was thrown off entirely when I just got robbed of points.
We'll live in protest forever. We'll consult the producer. Jack can ask the judge tomorrow at jury duty. How about that?
Make sure you show the YouTube video so he has the
Yeah,
evidence.
yeah, for sure.
This is Exhibit A.
Before we start this, I have something that needs to be settled by a real judge. All right, here's your final Jeopardy question. And since it doesn't matter, you guys can just discuss this, but put these wide receivers in order from most fantasy points to least, and this is season long, so it's season to date. Christian Kirk, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, and Michael Pittman.
I have my list.
We can
Yeah,
discuss.
say yours and I'll tell you if I would change it.
I think it's. Oh man. I think it's Kirk, Pittman, Lamb, Adams.
Okay. I think it's Lamb, Kirk, Pittman, Adams.
So Adams did have that 41-point game, but I think that's
He
like
did.
all he's had. And Kirk's been solid. CD has had some blow up games, but Kirk's had a couple like big games, and I feel like he hasn't disappeared in the other ones either. Other than week 1, I think he's been like steady. Like
Do you think Pittman has more than Lamb?
I feel like CD Lamb has had huge games, but also has been nothing because they like couldn't figure out offense for a little bit.
But Pittman's only had like 2 good games ever since the syndrome
Fair.
showed up.
He might be last. He might be last actually.
You
All
guys
right, let's go with
This
Kirk.
might,
you guys are in,
this might
you-
be the order.
you guys are in shambles right now.
Are they all close? I feel like they're all close. In like total
Jack-
points.
So, Jack, in your answer that you gave, you need to move one person to another point, and then you would have everything correct. And I believe you said CD, Christian Kirk, Pittman,
Adams.
And I'll say if one of those players is moved to another spot, then everything would fall in line.
Oh, that means that I was off by more than you.
Yeah.
So maybe it's CD, Kirk, Adams, Pittman.
I will reveal. It is CD, Pittman, Adams, Christian Kirk.
Wow.
Kirk's last?
Christian Kirk
wow.
is last. I will say these guys are all within like 20 total fantasy points of each other, so
Okay.
it is fairly close. Yeah. I want to say I looked this up. CD is like the wide receiver, like 11 right now.
So his past couple games really boosted him up, huh?
CD is 10, is 12, Adams is 13, and then Christian Kirk is 15. So Lamb's got 131, Kirk has 112. So within
Yeah.
20 points.
CD Lamb just had a huge game.
Yes.
He's had like 2 huge games.
Yes, he has.
So
All right. Well, that was a double edition of trivia. Go watch the YouTube for the connections board. And we are
also
on
send
to-
emails for how I was robbed of points.
Yes. Send emails and vouch for Tyler. And
Get
also
in the comments.
and also send in some frickin' mailbag questions so we can do a mailbag.
Yeah. Get a new drop.
Yeah. I'll have to make one. I'm waiting for a first one to come in before I make it. I don't want to waste time making it and don't get
Never
it.
have a question.
Anyway, listen for Satan at the end to tell you where to send that.
DFS Showdown.
Jack, I will give you the floor to discuss last week's events.
Yeah, so somehow I prevailed by a lot. I've apparently saved $3,000 and Bill had the best quarterback of the 3. I still don't know how that all unfolded from like a roster construction standpoint, but I had like one of my better weeks from like a total points perspective.
Yeah.
You scored 250% more than I did in the previous week last week
Right.
with saving $7,000.
Yeah, so I ran that strategy back again this week. I don't know. I just thought it was funny that we were all making fun of me. Like I even had no
Oh
idea
yeah,
why
we looked
my
really
team looked like
foolish.
that.
It made no sense at all. But
We looked
yeah,
very
you came in
foolish.
first. I told y'all I was playing for second place with the 2 tight end builds and the quarterback running back stack, and I came in second place. So mission accomplished.
Do we have updated standings?
I've been asking the producers for it. And every week it's just, we'll get it to you.
Doesn't get
And
prioritized.
they haven't gotten it to me. So we'll I'll continue to check in.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're looking for an internship out there, feel free to let me know.
Or send an email to hkfpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Attach your
send it along.
resume.
Please send it along with a question as well. All right, Jack, go ahead and kick us off.
All right, so I flipped the script and went with Lamar Jackson this week.
Ah,
Good matchup, good player. And none of the other QBs are on the slate besides Hurts. But that's against the big four. And that's against Dallas. So pass on that one. And then at running back, or do you want to do QBs?
oh, just go through your whole team. It's cool.
Try to pull a Nick.
That's
Oh wait,
funny.
shout out to Nick. He's our 5th subscriber to the YouTube channel.
Hey, let's go. I texted Nick actually before we started recording and said, tune into the YouTube tomorrow. I bet you'll get more than one question right on Jeopardy. I made it a lot easier. So I actually went with that Dallas game at quarterback. I did not pay up for Hurts. I took Dak.
I also took Dak.
There we go.
Spoiler alert, we'll discuss that later. And we may have differing opinions.
Or we may not.
So I'm gonna
Stay
skip running
tuned.
back. Did we all have CD Lamb?
Naturally.
Yeah. So with CD Lamb, I have Nico Collins and Mario Douglas.
Very nice.
Don't know why I did that, but that's what I did.
Mario D. I have DeMario D in the flex.
Same.
All right.
So far, Dave and I are 3 for 3.
3 for 3. Tyler, did you happen to double stack Dak Prescott?
I did not.
Since we're now apparently a Cowboys podcast, I have Jake Ferguson as the tight end.
I almost
This is
picked him.
gross. I love the chaos of
oh yeah,
today's
we're
DFS lineups.
just jumping around. This is the first time in our history that you live updating the show doc with our teams actually helps. I'll stay in the same game. I've got Devontae Smith as my wide receiver 2. And rounding out my receiver group, guaranteed to get anywhere between 9 and 13 points. Michael Thomas.
Interesting. I went with his teammate as my wide receiver 2, and I have Christian Olave. And then as my wide receiver 3, I have Zay Flowers.
You have Zay Flowers every week.
You really do. I love the confidence. I'll trade him to you in Hong Kong Fusion because
okay,
I feel like his name carries more weight than his actual production right now.
I mean, let's talk offline.
Yeah,
but
we'll talk.
I just want the wide receiver 1 on a good team.
Yeah, that's fair.
They'll figure
Makes
it out.
sense. And he's pretty cheap.
And
usually.
I have Lamar.
Yeah. When you said you also have Mike Thomas's teammate, Chris Olave, I instantly realized I made a grave mistake. And I have 2 Saints on my team heading up to the running back position. I do have Alvin Kamara.
Should we hear Jack's other receivers?
I gave my receivers.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Nico Collins and Demario Douglas.
Yeah, this is
bad.
This is bad audio to follow.
We'll recap at the end.
Yeah, we will. I'm guessing others have Alvin Kamara as well.
I have Alvin
That's the guy.
Kamara.
I
Yes.
do not.
That's a mistake by you.
It's not. I mean, his price is finally high.
That
It is
fair.
very high. Who else do you have at running back, Dave? Funk.
I needed to save some money here, so I went with Chuba Hubbard. Apparently, the running back 1 for the Carolina Panthers.
So have
Miles-
Chuba Hubbard.
Miles Sanders practiced in full last week and then had 2 carries for 0 yards.
Jack, you also have Chuba?
Yeah.
Wow, so you guys are the same at running back.
We have a lot of the same players.
Yeah,
Lot of
Dave doesn't
overlap.
have Dave does not have a lot of live players here.
Nope.
So I have I'm unique at running back. I have Josh Jacobs
Fat
and
Thor.
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, I almost did that.
Jonathan Taylor is in a smash matchup. Jacobs
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
is not, but I mean, one, you can't really be worse than Jimmy G.
Can't be worse.
And even if you are worse, what are they going to do? Probably just run the ball.
Yeah.
So
Well, since this is just chaotic, for a friend, would you also consider starting Zach Moss this week? Say instead of the aforementioned Zay Flowers.
I would not.
It's tough. Although I looked it up the other day, Zach Moss is like the running back 7.
Dude,
He is the third most rushing yards in
every
football.
week.
So
Might be the
dumb.
second. He might have the second most rushing yards in football. It's like CMC, and I think it's like him and then Swift.
Chain. And then
Now A-Chain is finally out of the top 5 after being injured for a handful of weeks.
End of season. All right.
All right, my tight
Tyler,
end is K-Dot.
Mm. I went
he's
with
so cheap.
Musgrave at 3,300.
Very nice. Jack, who you got in flex, and then we'll give defenses.
I have Darrell Henderson Jr.
Rams
Good matchup.
running back.
Rams. Yeah.
Didn't know he
And
was
then my
a junior.
defense is the Giants.
We all have the Giants.
We do.
Yeah.
Dave, do you have any unique players?
Michael Thomas, Devonta
Jake
Devonta
Ferguson,
Smith,
baby.
and Jake Ferguson.
I need Jake Ferguson to go off.
To be fair, you
Um,
don't have you're mixing between both of us. So you definitely
Yeah.
aren't tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll be good.
But that's funny.
What else is funny is I picked up, so I did not expect to get both of those players that I claimed today, Trey McBride and Demario Douglas on waivers, because I put in low bids for them, just like the what if, and then the what if happened. But I had follow-up claims to drop the same players for a couple of the defenses that I had preferred to pick up, because I had Lions D and they're on bye. So picked up the Giants D against the Raiders, right? And then I go and make the DraftKings lineup, and I see them at the Stone Min, and I'm like, maybe these aren't such a good play this week. And then that's when I picked up the Falcons D at about
That's all you
7:30
did
p.m.
that.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll ride with the Falcons against Jaren Hall instead.
I'm surprised they're that low. I don't know.
confusion.
Well, they did just trade probably their best defensive player,
Yeah.
but I
Did
still
you-
take my
and
chances
then
against the
Did you
hapless
watch the
offense.
Raiders?
Yeah. He might just be able to not replicate him. Just leave that position out, and they'll still have success.
For sure. Anyway, recapping teams. I've got Dak Prescott. I've got Kamara and Chuba. At running back, I've got CD Lamb, Devontae Smith, Michael Thomas, and Demario Douglas in the flex. Jake Ferguson. We've all got Giants D. Jack's got Lamar, Alvin Kamara, and Chuba. CD Lamb, Nico Collins, Demario Douglas, K-Dot in the tight end, Darrell Henderson Jr. in the flex. Tyler's got Dak, Josh Jacobs, and Jonathan Taylor at running back. CD Lamb, Christian Olave, Zay Flowers, who I will soon trade to him. Luke Musgrave at tight end, and Mario Douglas in the flex. So best of luck, and hopefully the
Best of
producers
luck.
can get us an updated win-loss total. Probably not, though. Spoiler alert. We'll see.
Bold predictions.
Go for it.
Shout out to Tyler and me last week. Tyler, you said Titans minus 6.5, but I feel like your premise was completely
Yeah, they
correct.
won by 5. Close enough. We'll
Yeah.
give it to you because I fucked you up in Jeopardy.
It wasn't your premise that like they were all essentially like upgrading without Tannehill.
No, my premise was basically like this is just one of those games that the Titans and I did this last week when I couldn't remember the coach's name. Vrabel would just win.
Vrabel.
They would just find a way to win. They would just win that game, and
It
it
happened.
worked.
Sure enough.
What was yours
And I
that you
said
hit on?
I said the Broncos would only lose by 3 or win. And they
That
won.
hit.
Not even close. And then Dave said the Browns, who literally threw the game away in the last minute.
Oh my God, that was so bad.
That's what I get
So
for
bad.
That's what I get for going with the Browns. And
Yes, it is.
I didn't learn anything because this week I'm taking the Raiders to beat the Giants.
I like it.
I mean, it would help my. So real quick before we should have talked about this earlier. We were doing the recaps of last week. Well, we didn't do that. We should have done a recap. Jack in another league needed less than point. What did you need? Less than 0.3 from Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
It was 3 yards. He couldn't get 4 yards. He could only
Yeah.
get 3.
And
Standard league, so no points per reception.
And in Hong Kong Fusion, our podcast in our league, I already had locked up to win unless Jacoby Myers somehow got like negative 15 or something. But I still had him in my lineup. And as you know, or you may not know, if someone gooses or gets negative, you have to do a neck nom. So I was basically just watching and his stats for goose alert.
Yep.
Well, like into the third quarter, maybe even the fourth. I don't even know when he caught it. He had
It
nothing.
was the 4th.
It was like 4 minutes left.
So, all of that to say, hopefully that rights the ship for Jacoby Myers if you have them beating the Giants. Sadly, Jack lost on 1 catch for 19 yards, which was inconsequential to the game, and they probably even punted that drive.
Oh, I'm
They
sure
probably,
probably
if not an interception.
Oh
No.
no, that was the he then immediately got sacked on like 3 of 4 plays and they had
Yep.
turnover on downs.
So that one just hurt Jack and did nothing for the Raiders.
The worst part
And,
was
it
I was like,
didn't.
I'm not gonna win. Then it's like the 4th quarter, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm still winning.
50 minutes in, you're like, holy crap, this might happen.
Yeah. Additional pain from that game includes Kyle losing by less than 0.7. I think it was like 0.64. Was 0.44 until the 2 Jared Goff kneel downs at the end. At least he didn't lose because of
On
the
the
kneel
kneel
downs. That's stuff like that happens, and you know you're going to be the Sacco. But yeah, TY
It was the
edged Kyle out.
9th and 10th highest scores this week. Played each other.
Yeah, the loser bowl of the week. There you go. Little bonus win for TI there. TY.
Yeah.
Shout out
TI's
to
a
the
Bring him
rapper.
out.
shout out to the rapper from Atlanta.
Shout out to TI.
So getting back to football, my bold prediction is that the Chiefs lose again, and it's in big fashion. So I forget the exact score of the Broncos game, but my bold prediction is they lose by 2 or more scores.
I think Chiefs Broncos was 21-9.
21-9. So they did not lose by 2 scores, but you get the point. They lose
Where are the Chiefs playing?
significantly. Miami, in Miami.
In
That
Germany.
is
Well, true. You're right.
In
Well,
Miami,
that
Germany.
changes things. I knew the Chiefs were away. I did not remember that it was in Germany.
In Miami, Germany.
Shit. Well,
why can't we send like the Raiders and the Giants to Germany instead? I feel like
Yeah,
I feel like America is robbed of this. I mean, this is like one of the games of the year.
it's an AFC.
Mhm.
This could decide one of these,
This
teams'
could be
fates.
this could be the AFC Championship game
Yeah.
preview right here. Shout out to Germany.
Pennsylvania, I think the Eagles will crush the Cowboys by 2 touchdowns.
I could see that happening, and also the total points hitting like 85.
I think home field advantage will help. I think offense is borderline unstoppable.
Do you think the
I
home field advantage will help our defensive backs cover CD Lamb?
no.
No, but I don't think they have much after Lamb. I mean, I'm a little worried about Ferguson, but I don't know. Cooks and Gallup to me are just like replacement level players at this point.
I'm actually if I was betting, I'd be more apt to bet the opposite of your take than on your take.
I mean,
I
it's
think
fair.
I think if the Eagles win, it's close, and I think I lean like 60% that they lose. We gave up 400 yards passing to Sam Howell.
But that means we'll be focused on fixing it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or it means that when CeeDee Lamb and a better offensive line were playing us, that we can't fix it.
CD Lamb could very much torch the Eagles this weekend.
Oh my God, he's going to.
But because the NFL is weird, he's going to end up having like 3 catches for 25 yards.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Eagles will win
what you always have
31 to 10.
what you always have to fall back on is Mike McCarthy is calling plays.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is Tony Pollard.
True. Good coaching advantage for the Eagles.
Yeah.
We shall see. Should be a good one.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I would love to. We will. The 3 of us will certainly be texting during the game, good or bad.
Yes.
All right.
What time is that game? Is it
It's
prime
it's
time?
the prime time. It's 8:30.
No, it's 4:30.
Is it?
I thought it was prime time too, but it's not.
So much
Oh.
research goes into this show. 4:25 confirmed.
That is stupid.
But the prime time is good. If Bills Bengals is prime time.
Ooh,
True.
the DeMar Hamlin rematch.
The schedule is so you have Chiefs Dolphins in the morning, and then at 1 o'clock the Seahawks game, Seahawks Ravens, and then the Eagles Cowboys, and then Bills Bengals. So it's a pretty good.
It's actually 4 really good games.
Yeah, in each time slot. So
good on you,
and then
schedule
Monday
makers.
night's even better. It's Chargers Jets.
Woof. A great offense versus a great defense, and then on the other side, a terrible offense versus a terrible defense.
Yep.
Should be sloppy. All right. Anything else? I forget what you mentioned to Google.
We had to Google
The name of the stadium.
the name of the stadium in Milwaukee.
Your memory on those are ridiculous. You always remember the random things that we talked about. American Family Field. So you had it.
Also, what
Nailed it.
a dumb name of a stadium.
What a generic ass name for a stadium.
American Family Field.
Yeah. I wonder, is it like an actual company that
Yeah,
sponsors that?
I'm sure it's a mortgage company or bank.
Yeah, that makes
That would be a
sense.
good bet.
definitely makes sense. All right, well, that'll be for off podcast Googling, since I don't feel like doing it right now. But anyway,
All right.
go check out the YouTube for exclusive trivia and send in some fucking
Yes.
mailbag questions so we can
Go
do
Birds.
a mailbag.
Go Birds. Go Duck Sauce.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the Hong Kong Fusion Podcast. Send your mailbag questions to hkfpod@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week.